even if you have no like there's nothing to the future like ours objection, you want to present this like other argument that commits us to bringing about more future like ours. The future like ours proponent can actually very easily just be neutral on the second premise, because there's not even like anything illustrating that we're going to get something close to seeing a future like ours is like good. You might just think depriving someone of a future like ours is bad.
Yeah,
and not,
like
and,
if the bullets weren't bitten, I wouldn't have went with that argument.
Yeah, but okay, so there's two prongs there. There's two prongs. So one is that it's not a bullet in the strict sense. Like, a lot of people might agree with that. They might think, yeah, we do have obligations to bring about, more humans on this earth. Right? Some people might just think that that's not a crazy thing. But also the second thing is the future like ours proponent can easily just be agnostic on neutral on the second premise. You agree with that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a conservative server, so running in you don't think people have an obligation to is like fairly rhetorically okay there.
These conservative people, they might these are the type of people that would have certain intuitions that it's good anyways to bring about more humans on it. Like I don't know how that would be a reductio to anyone there.
Because I was trying to get Glock to show that like she was still denying that despite this like being a follow through from position. That was the only reason I was going there.
Yeah, I'm not. I wasn't there for the contest, but this is very weak stuff. I mean, I was under the impression you had some objection to the future like us stuff, but
my main objections are going to be like I don't see a reason why like it doesn't apply to like future organisms as well. If we're saying like future experiences are.
If it doesn't apply to future organisms.
Yeah, so like that was one of the contentions, and then the other big one was like personhood. I'm not fully convinced by like personhood over time to say that like you're depriving this organism of it. You're just depriving an organism of it.
But stick to the first one. What is it? What do you mean it doesn't apply to future persons?
So if we're valuing like a future experience, I'm not sure I wouldn't value it for future organisms, future experiences as well.
Because it's a future like ours is a property of a present thing. Think of the future like ours as a property. It's a property of it's like this modal property of a present thing.
Yeah, we're
so then
more
the critique would be
a future state, though, right?
No, you're not valuing the state. You're valuing the property a present thing has.
Yeah, and the property is its ability for something in the future, though, right?
No, it's a modal one. It's like if you were to leave it, it'd have these sort of experiences. So if the critique is you don't see why it would apply to something that the future like ours accounts don't try to give. I mean, you see how that's silly, right?
No, I don't see how that's silly. I feel like we're using
because a critique of a theory can't just be that it doesn't attempt to explain something that it doesn't attempt to explain.
Yeah, the critique of the theory is going to be. This seems like it's going to also be an entailment if we're valuing like the future.
Then what I want you to do, because I'm very formal about this, is just show us the entailment. So just look, you see the side chat. Now what I want you to do is put in the premises that the future like ours proponent is committed to, and show us the entailment. Wait, did I cut out?
No, I'm typing.
Okay.
Hello? Remind me that I have a question after, Mustafa.
All right.
That'd be the way I'm seeing it come from it.
Okay, future like ours is morally valuable from the... Okay, this isn't... I'm not seeing the inference rule here. What? Yeah, I'm not... This is like very... I'm almost about to say gibberish. Hold on. Okay, wait, what's the inference rule?
I can read through the list and see which one's the most accurate there.
So, because what is morally valuable? What's that supposed to mean there? They might not even think it's morally valuable by how you're getting at. They might just think it's wrong to deprive someone of it. But it's wrong to deprive someone of it doesn't... I don't know how... Maybe you're just using it like that. So if we were to... I'm
not sure what you would mean to be like wrong. If not, you're...
Okay, so let's put the first premise as it is prima facie wrong to deprive someone of an FLO. Okay, what's the second premise?
Some FLOs are had by some... Or are you gonna agree that like its future experiences are valuable or disvaluable under this view?
I can remain neutral very easily, but just go ahead. So that's the first premise. What's the second one?
It seems to be the case that like future experiences are what's like valuable there.
Oh, that's your seeming. Okay, well, that's
like the first seeming I see from this position. But like, if
okay, so you think? Oh, that's wait, but you're not showing an entitlement. You're just saying it seems like that's what people are talking about.
Yeah, because apparently I might be wrong here. I'm not sure what it would mean to be like wrong for something if you're by depriving something that's not having any value.
Let's both try our hardest and try and draw out the entitlements. That's the first premise. It's prima facie wrong.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Now, what's the second premise?
The second premise is future experiences are valuable here.
Future experiences
are prima facie valuable. I mean, have it with prima facie if you want to.
And by prima facie valuable, that's like, what do you mean by valuable there?
It would make it wrong to try and prevent someone from having these things.
Oh, but that's just identical to the first premise.
No, it's going to be a little bit more clearly talking about what we're talking about here.
Yeah, no, but you just said it's wrong. If valuable there just means prima facie wrong, that's identical to the first premise. I can write that down for you and show you how that is. So just try and follow this. First premise is saying is prima facie wrong to deprive someone of an FLO. I'm saying the second premise is
than future experiences. That's the distinction there.
Okay, future experiences. Okay, let's put it like that. So someone might just deny the second premise if they're committed to future like us. So
sure, I'm not sure how you'd be like committed to futures like ours. Where's like the value in a future like ours if it's not?
It is prima facie wrong to. Oh wait, to deprive. Okay, there's actually a very easy way to do this. Hold on. Deprive someone of future experiences. Okay, and then what's the conclusion? Or is that another premise? Because I can also like put this in, variables, and we'll see if it's valid.
Yeah, so like if it's identical, then the wording of it in the way of like it's these future experiences are prima facie valuable is going to be a meaningful distinction in the syntax of how we word the conclusion.
Yeah, what's this? I didn't have if with what?
The syntax of it's going to be meaningfully distinct for how we get to premise 3. So it needs to be worded in it's prima facie wrong, or it's prima facie valuable for future experiences are prima facie valuable. Sorry.
Okay, well, by the way, if the second premise might be, someone might be committed to that, but the someone there is going to be doing a lot of the work, because you said you read Marquise, right?
I believe so. I'm not sure. I'd say I said someone there. That's not what I said for premise 2. I'll reword it.
I think you said the author. So yeah, I assumed it was Marquise.
Wait, do you want to take over someone?
I don't remember the name off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
So the second premise is what? Is prima facie wrong to deprive future experiences?
Future expressions are prima
No,
facie
but
valuable.
prima facie valuable. I'm not clear what valuable is supposed to mean. That I thought we clarified that it's wrong to deprive. That's what valuable meant.
Yeah, but the syntax is going to be important for how we get to premise 3 there.
Well, whether it's important, I mean, if that's identical, why can't you just leave it at that? Like they're different. You can call that propositional variable Q or something. It's not going to change the inference rule.
Sure. Some then premise 3 is going to be some future experiences are held by organisms that don't currently exist.
So wait, what is it?
Some future experiences are had by organisms that don't currently exist.
Some future experiences are had by organisms that don't exist. Okay, and then what's the? Well, she just edited that, so let me just put it in this. Okay, what's the next premise or conclusion?
The conclusion seems to be it's going to be like these organisms that are going to have these experiences are going to be valuable because it's wrong to deprive them of that. It's going to be like wrong to stop these organisms or not help get these organisms happening.
Wait, these organisms that are going to have these? Have what?
Goddamn. Why did you fucking Glock? You're awful.
What are you talking about?
You're evil for fucking posting the fucking going against Mustafa. You're just trying to kill me.
Okay, so premise 4 is what? These organisms that are going to have...
The conclusion will be, there are going to be organisms that are going to be, organisms that don't exist yet that are going to be valuable.
Okay. There are organisms that don't exist yet, but are going to be valuable. Now look, very clear thing here is, what I'm going to ask you to do is, show me how that's valid. Because
prima facie valuable would be the more.
You think that? Wait, that's not even going to help you. I mean, just look at the propositional variables here. Okay. The first premise, let's put a propositional variable P. Second one, let's call it Q. Third one, let's call it R. And then 4, let's call it S. You understand how P, Q, R, therefore S is not a valid inference.
No, it seems to be valid to me.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna let's all not laugh at that. Let's all not laugh at that. P. I'm gonna write this down. P, Q, R, therefore S is a valid inference. That's where you want to go down. You think this? You think this? You're gonna sign off on this, by the way. Do you know the name of the inference rule? That's P, Q, R, therefore S. Is this the Korinth inference rule?
I don't agree that this is like an accurate representation of the inference. No.
Okay, well, just try and do the propositional variables yourself then, because you understand how they're all different atomic propositions there. They're different sentences. There's no way where you do if P. It's not a conditional there. So just tell me the propositional variables yourself. Let's see if they track on to what's going on. I'm also trying to be as nice as possible. Usually, if someone else came in and said PQR therefore S is a valid inference under their view, I'd block them. I'd call them autistic and then block them, and just tell them to read any logic textbook. But I'm forced to have this cordial discussion with you. But I do I'll say this: I think you're brain dead for saying that.
Yeah, I can tell you think that.
And not just me, I think, any person who's read pretty much anything on logic would tell you the same thing. Okay, Q implies W. W is true because R Uh, wait, hold on. That's well. So you think one is an implication? What did you just write there? Also, R is not an implication, and I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand what 2 is supposed to be there. I'm guessing just got somewhat of the idea. But do you think 1 is an implication?
Yeah.
You think there are two different propositions there?
Yeah, it seems to be like depriving something is prima facie implies that there's a prima
Yeah, but
facie wrong being committed.
let's get
Depriving a future like ours is prima facie wrong. Depriving a future like ours, Q implies it's prima facie wrong. W.
Okay, that's just hold your horses. What's propositional variable Q?
Depriving someone of a future like ours.
Depriving someone of a future like us. Now that's an action. That's not a proposition.
Sure. Do you want me to reword it? I mean, we can use.
No,
your,
no.
like,
So tell me.
you are.
No, okay, so that's a problem. When I ask you what proposition is propositional variable Q, what I want you to do there is give me a proposition, not just like an action. Just tell me the proposition that Q is, and then tell me the proposition that R is. And W and S.
Sure. Do you want me to fully write it out for you in a way?
Just start off with Q. Just start off with Q. I'm
Sure.
helping you to make your own argument valid. Just I'm being as nice as I can. Just what's propositional variable
You
Q?
seem like you're being so nice right now.
Yeah, no. What's propositional variable Q? Yeah, hello.
I need to reword the start of the premise from how.
No. You wait. Okay, you can rewrite it, but you see how my representation was actually accurate because these are just atomic. These are just atomic propositions here. You're saying these are implications. Now you're actually changing what you said earlier because you want to fit into an implication.
The syntax is going to be pretty relevant here.
No, but but now you're just changing the premise.
We'll see if you feel like this was like a meaningful change of it.
Well, I don't. The meaningful change is you might change it to an implication. It just wasn't an implication prior. That's the point.
So you don't think like depriving someone of a future like ours implies a prima facie wrong?
No.
You don't think that?
No, because that's not a proposition.
Okay, so X deprives someone of a future like ours?
You could say depriving someone of a feature like ours is morally wrong. But it's depriving someone of a feature like ours
is a prima facie morally wrong.
Okay, is that wait? So you want to say that's proposition variable Q?
It's going to lead to the implication because this X implies that.
No. I'm asking you. This is the question. You see variable Q. What proposition does Q represent?
Depriving someone of a. Depriving someone of a future like ours.
Okay, all right. So that's error number 2. When I ask you what proposition that is, I want to get a proposition. I don't want to get an action. So I would just type it out again. Deprive someone of a future like us, not a proposition. So what would happen here is, under my view, arguments, are made up of propositions. And if you give something that's not a proposition, I just won't accept it's an argument.
Yeah, it's not a declarative action. It can be propositional. I'm so confused.
No. Actions aren't proposition.
Declarative actions aren't propositional. It's been heavily argued that actions themselves can be propositional.
Who's argued that?
Sure. Do you want me to pull up everyone who's argued it, or
just any person that says, any person that thinks an action is propositional.
Sure. Give me a second. I'm really bad with names. You can tell by like me not remembering Marquet.
Yeah, Abacus just kind of got the idea. That's a different route. Depriving someone of a future like ours, if that's propositional, is that true or false? Do you think also? Do you think nouns are propositional too? Just nouns by themselves? I think chair is true.
What are you reading on?
Well, there's this further point about how he thinks actions are propositional.
Oh, they can be.
That's the further point. Now he said he's read somewhere that someone takes that view. This is just like almost independent. I just want to know who takes that view.
Yeah, Jim joined the VC and DM'd me saying, "Did this guy actually say actions are propositional?" So
Jim missed the PQR therefore S is a valid inference rule. I think that's the worst thing this guy said, but I don't know. This guy.
I never said it was a valid inference rule. In fact,
I
it was just like
quoted
a
you on that.
misrepresentation of it.
I quoted you on P. So I said, "Do you think?" I'm very clear with these kind of things. I said, "Do you think the inference rule PQR therefore S is a valid one?" You said, "Yeah, it seems to be valid."
No, I said that proof seems valid, and you just said.
No, I said
I disagree with the
so you
of it.
Okay, now you're just lying. I mean, you can decide to lie. That's fine. Everyone heard you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people. Are laughing.
Everyone also cheered for you. Don't worry. They're all clapping.
Well, I don't know why they'd clap for me. It's like I'm bullying a disabled person.
Yeah, they're just clapping for you.
Why would they do that? These people are insane if they're doing that. I think people feel sorry for you. Did you find anyone that thinks actions are propositional?
Give me a minute.
no, the silence is deafening because the back talk with me was wild. But okay.
Oh yeah, I'm having look for this. I also was out of debate mode fully. I'm sorry. Look, Glock, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. I still like you, okay?
No, you didn't hurt my feelings. You weren't like this, that's for sure. You weren't being, never mind, whatever.
It's a very different environment. There's no way I can try and bully Mustafa in this server and it look well, okay?
Did you think that attempting to bully me
you have to have read something, right? You have to know some basic things. You think there are truth conditions for actions. You're insane. You can't find anyone that agrees with you. Do you want me to do the rhetoric thing as well? If I do the rhetoric thing, it's actually gonna look so bad on me. Because
look,
I'm gonna be seen as a bully. I'm gonna be seen as I've walked into the special needs class. I'm just bullying these people for not knowing basic logic.
I'm just gonna go back and have more fun what I was doing beforehand. If that happens.
There's two things there. I gave a representation of the argument where the propositional variables are PQR for S. You gave one where it's an implication. I'm not convinced it's an implication because what you gave as a propositional variable isn't a proposition.
It would probably be more better for saying if you deprive someone of an FLL. As the nature of Q. To be what Q is.
If you deprive, so that's a conditional now. So you're changing. One was just the sense is that it is prima facie wrong. You understand that? So look at what you're doing. You're actually changing the premise.
The to part in the middle of the sentence, when you flip the sentence, changes the syntax of it to be an if statement beforehand.
Just wait. The first one isn't a conditional.
It is. When you say to deprive something, that's conditional on that aspect. You have the conditional in the middle of the sentence there. To deprive someone of an FLO is prima facie wrong. That is a conditional on to do something.
That's changing it, but that's like saying anything is a conditional.
Flipping the sentence changes the syntax of it to move the conditional statement from the middle to the beginning of the premise.
This is
before the premise already.
A conditional. I'm taking it to be a conditional with respect to a proposition. Like the antecedent is a proposition. What's the antecedent?
The antecedent, if you deprive someone of an FLO. To deprive someone of FLO.
You know what? I'll actually change to this. I'll just like scrap the entire whole thing. Let's try and give a valid representation right now. Let's like retry. So one is let's retry this. If you deprive someone of an FLO, what?
Then it is prima facie wrong.
Then you are doing something prima facie wrong. Okay, now I'm gonna go step by step. You think that's if P, therefore Q, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what's the next premise?
Future experiences are prima facie valuable as a justification for why Q is true.
2 is... Okay, so say that again?
Future experiences are prima facie valuable, providing justification for why Q is true.
A prima facie... Wait, prima facie valuable. And then what?
This is just the reasoning for premise 2 is to show that Q is true. Q is true because you says P implies Q there.
The reasoning that shows Q
it's the justification for Q being true under the situation P.
Okay. That's not clear to me, or whatever. So you think future experiences are prima facie valuable? What's the rest of the proposition?
That's just is the proposition there.
Okay, future experiences are prima facie valuable?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're okay with me representing that as R? Because that's not the antecedent. That's not the.
Yep.
Okay. Now what's the third premise?
Some future experiences are had by organisms that do not exist yet. That do not currently exist.
Are had by organisms that do not currently exist. Let's call that S. That's not any of the propositional variables above. Hello?
What?
Wait, do you want to call that propositional variable S?
Experiences are had.
Let me just write it down like that.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, now what's the rest?
I'm going to reread it now just because.
Sure.
Make sure. Okay. Sorry, I don't imagine things in my head. I need to see it sometimes for things like this. Yeah.
Okay, now what's the rest? Is there a conclusion? Is there another premise? What's going on?
Give me a second. Let me think it through, okay? We're having a calm little talk here.
I was employing the bones of doom rhetoric. It's over.
No one's hurting you guys. It's okay. We're going to take this slowly.
I am getting hurt. I deny that. I am getting hurt. You're going to try and get some, You said you read Marquise. For Marquise's argument to go through, there has to be some identifiable subject of harm, and that's a necessary one. That's a necessary requirement. Like, don't just be denied that there is any such organisms that have a feature like us. There are no such organisms. That's going to be the general line of response, but I don't think that's going to work well with you. So what I'm going to do is hear out the rest of your argument, see if it's valid, see if it actually comes from what the feature like us argument is committed to. And then we'll move on. So what is the next premise? Or is there a conclusion where we get from PQ?
Again, it's okay. We don't need to rush these things. It takes time.
Yeah, but I don't want my time to be wasted where, like, you say you have an argument and you give me, like, some of the premises.
Then I'm sorry. You should blame Glock for that one, not me, buddy.
I thought you had an argument.
If we're going this in depth to it, I need to, like,
it's not
specifically word it.
I promise it's not in depth. I can make it valid for you.
Okay, I'm just making it pretty clear. I'm trying to figure out how to word this, okay? I have the inference rule list on my other monitor. We're good. I have to, like, match them up, play fucking a puzzle game.
Well, force me. I have other questions as well, so just Stacy to classes in session. This is why Mustafa demands respect.
I think anyone should demand respect for, like, I mean, this guy is actually terrible.
It'd probably be a syllogism between 2 and 3. Like, prima facie valuable things are held by organisms that don't exist.
Is that the fourth premise? Sorry, is that the fourth premise?
Yeah.
Okay, so fourth premise is prima facie. Wait, what is it?
Things that are prima facie valued are had by organisms that don't currently exist.
She valued.
Or some prima facie things are valued or held by things that don't currently exist.
Some things that are prima facie valued are had by things that currently don't exist. Okay. Now, okay, that's not identical. Let's see, is that identical to 3? No. So we'll call that proposition variable L. You okay with that? It's not identical to anything above.
Is it not? Did I misword it for it to be in syllogistic form?
Well, look, it's not syllogistic anywhere because you've already given me 3 premises.
Yeah.
A syllogism is 2 premises.
Between premise 2 and premise 3 specifically.
Between premise 2 and premise 3?
Premise 3, yeah. You're using future experiences as the middle word.
But an argument, it doesn't matter where you put the premises. Like you can put. I don't know if you think that matters. Like you could put you say you had if P then Q, P therefore Q. You could put the conditional as premise 1, or you could put the conditional as premise 2.
No, that wasn't the intention.
Okay, so just the next premise is 4. You told me some things that are prima facie valued are had by things that currently don't exist. Could we represent that as proposition variable L?
I think it would be better to be like, how would you represent a syllogism there?
A premise isn't a syllogism. You just gave me a premise. I don't know if you know
you're doing a syllogism between these 2 premises to each premise 4.
I'm not doing a syllogism. I'm asking you what the proposition variable is.
Yeah, it's a syllogism between premise 2 and premise 3 to each premise 4 to be worded as this.
Okay. Let me re-ask that. You gave me premise 4. What variable can we represent premise 4 with?
Sure, we can go with L, I think.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to take that back later, though.
Okay, yeah, sure. You can take it back once you know it's wrong. Okay. P implies Q, R, S, L. Is there another premise? Or is that a
No.
conclusion that we're going to be able to...
That seems like there's no more premises.
Oh, wait, so is 4 a conclusion, or...
Yeah.
If 4 is a conclusion, we have... You want to sign off on that, right? Because I don't want you to, like, walk this back later on.
Maybe.
What do you maybe? Like, is that the conclusion of your argument?
It might be.
What do you mean it might be? Like,
I haven't read it over well enough yet.
just reread it. It's in the chat.
I'm rereading it.
Okay, reread it and let me know if that's the conclusion of your argument.
I didn't say it would be.
What are you laughing at? You gave an invalid argument.
Oh, no.
P implies Q, R, S, and L.
R is true because it's the truth maker for P, so given P, then R is going to be true.
Regardless of that, P implies Q, R, S, therefore R is not a valid inference rule.
R, S is going to be also true.
They can... No, I don't know.
And it's a syllogism between R and S.
With.
And that's a syllogism between R and S for each L.
Okay, just look in the chat. It's not valid.
Yeah, because you're, like, not writing it right.
Okay. Wait, now this is terrible because this is how you wrote it. I asked you for the variables. If you want,
I said maybe.
Variables.
I said maybe.
Okay, so if you want, you can change the variables to make it valid. Just let me know which one to change.
2 is going to be R implies T.
Okay, wait. 2. Okay, 2 is R implies T. Let's change that.
And 3 is T implies S.
Wait, okay, what's R implies T? Now, what's propositional variable R?
Their future experiences.
There are future... So R is actually there are future experiences. Wait, and T is...
Like they're prima facie valuable.
There are future... This is so lost. That's a conjunction there, by the way. That's not an implication. Is two? Are you saying 2 is a conjunction?
Like, future experiences have moral value, so it'd be like, it'd be a yeah.
So it's a conjunction.
No, it'd be an implication. It's have, not are, and.
No, if there are future experiences, that's proposition 1. That's R. What's T?
They have moral value. Therefore, they have moral value. It implies they have moral value.
Future experiences
they have prima facie value would be a better way to word it.
have prima. So if it's an could you show us how that's implied?
Yeah, so that's going to be what makes premise 1 true, right? The fact that prima facie, there are future experiences, it's what makes them prima facie wrong to deny those experiences.
Wait, and when you say future experiences have prima facie value.
That's why, like, denying someone their future experiences because of future, like ours, like aborting or something, is going to be
future experience have prima facie value. Is that identical to saying denying someone of a future like ours is morally wrong. Prima facie morally wrong.
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
Is saying future experiences have prima facie value, is that identical to saying denying someone of a future like us is prima facie morally wrong?
I'm sorry, one more time on the first one.
Premise 2, is that identical to saying denying someone of a future like us is prima facie morally wrong?
No, it's the justification for why denying someone their future experiences is prima facie morally wrong.
Well, what's the justification? I don't understand what the premise is.
Yeah, the thing that makes it wrong is you're denying them their future experiences.
Denying someone of future experiences.
Yeah, you're denying their future experiences. That's what makes it morally wrong.
Okay, so if we say the thing that, so we'll write that down, the thing that makes deprivation of a feature like us is wrong is that it deprives someone of future experience. I don't even grant that, but whatever. Okay, that's not an implication.
Sure, then if you want to like not grant that, then why is it wrong to prima facie morally wrong to like deny someone a future like ours?
Because it's, by the way, just depriving someone of future experiences isn't what the deprivation of, what's gonna make flow, depriving someone of a flow wrong. Someone can have future experiences that's just not like us.
Yeah, so okay, so it's just
why
like ours.
would I
So
accept
into future experiences like ours, then we can add that into like premise 2.
Okay, so premise 2 is the thing that makes a deprivation of, but that's just repeating.
That's why I changed the syntax of it to make it fall into premise 3 as a syllogism, right?
No, just look what you've written down now. 2 is the thing that makes a deprivation of a future like us wrong is that it deprives someone of a future like us. That's what you've written down.
Yeah, that's why I flipped the syntax of it in premise 2 to say a feature like ours is prima facie valuable, right?
But the valuable thing that is just, by the way, is just saying, look, it's just saying that to deprive someone of it is wrong. Otherwise, I don't know what you mean by valuable there.
So if you're just saying like to deprive someone of it's wrong and like that doesn't mean it's valuable, I don't know what you mean by either of those terms. And considering
What do you mean when you say something's prima facie valuable?
That it would, like, if you had more of it, it would be good. Or if you had less of it, it would be bad. It'd be like bad to take it away to someone, or it'd be good to give it to someone who didn't have it.
Okay, then I might just wait. Then if we write it down as the thing that makes depriving someone of an FLO wrong is that it deprives someone of an FLO. That is, let's call that propositional variable W. Is this not the argument?
No, again, I used a different syntax for premise 2 and then flipped it to show the inverse. So, like, if it's not the case that P, then it's like not P, right?
You're saying not P, so it's 2 not P?
You're like, if not P, then not P, or something.
Yeah, but not P is just saying if you don't derive someone of an FLO.
Yeah, so that's how we're just like flipping the syntax of it. We're flipping it completely. We're just like, trying to phrase it in like the positive terms of it.
So it's, wait, this is so lost. 2 is saying the thing that makes that makes depriving someone of an FLO wrong is that it deprives someone of an FLO. That was identical to what the premise is. The whole flipping stuff is nonsense. That gets us.
No, we're like changing the syntax to make it a valid form for a syllogism.
Before the syntax, are they identical in meaning?
Oh yeah,
Okay, so that doesn't matter.
No, it does. If you're making it needs to be syntactically correct if you're using it for
No, because
syllogism.
we can just represent them as variables. Like that's like saying you can't like okay, you give Socrates is a man, and a mortal, therefore Socrates is mortal.
Yeah, that's why this isn't W.
Just represent that with propositional variables. You can give that argument in a different language. It's going to be the same argument, and it's still going to be valid. You just represent that with variables. So you can do the same thing here. If they're identical in meaning, then that is an accurate representation of your argument.
Sure. So like P implies Q there, or like what's it? R implies S there.
What's R?
The thing that makes depriving someone of an FLO wrong is that deprives someone of FLO.
That's just W.
No, it's like P implies Q. It's like the reason for this is like because of this.
No, this premise to the argument is W.
No.
Yes, look at the argument.
No.
How do I argue with that? Just look at the argument. It's W.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's not W. I can write it down for you if you want me to.
Write what down?
Like the accurate framing of like premise 2.
You think premise 2 is like an implication?
Yeah, I think if you like word it right, it's an implication.
Yeah, I think if you change the premise, it's an implication. Okay, wait. What time is it now? I'll give it 5 more minutes before I decide to kill myself.
Thank you. You don't have to give me that much time.
Try to wait. I'm giving up on this part. Just you give us the argument. You just write it out,
Sure.
give it in a valid way. You represent the propositional variables.
Okay, perfect.
Wait, what are you guys arguing?
So basically, the argument is over whether you can use second-order modal quantification to express Korinth's argument.
It's
And,
not.
and basically, Corinth is just saying that second-order modal quantification doesn't have any metaphysical grounds, and Mustafa is denying that.
Is someone mute, Julian?
The funny part is this is like entirely a meta conversation about my argument with Glock, and then it's like, oh, the argument used against Glock because Glock bit certain bullets isn't applicable against other positions.
I didn't bite any bullet. I thought we already went
did.
through Mustafa, that's a bullet?
No, by the way,
Yeah,
like you said this was the argument. For anyone missed it, the argument was premise 1: you should do good things. Premise 2: bringing about a future like ours is a good thing. Therefore, you should do that.
no,
I don't
the
remember
argument.
accepting premise 2.
Yeah, that wasn't what the premises were. Is why. I love
What was
the
it?
person that wasn't in the conversation. So
I get it. Who are you going to lie to now?
Sure, I can repeat it back perfectly for you because I remember this. So premise
Okay,
1
Corinth,
was,
go ahead, do it. Repeat it back.
I will. I appreciate the emphatic support.
Just do it, go.
I am. Don't worry, it's okay. I'm doing it.
Yeah, what was-
Premise
what-
1, yes. So I'm trying to. You guys keep like hyping me up. I feel so happy right now. So premise 1 was you ought to do good things and do more good things. You ought to do more good things. Glock agreed to that. Premise 2, futures like ours, we're good. That was premise 2.
What I just said. This is what I just said. Who are you correcting?
That wasn't what you just said.
And wait,
I
in what
remember
way is
saying that.
Marquis's argument reflective of this?
I wasn't arguing with Marquise. I was arguing with Glock, right?
Julian already went through. Like he already knows this has nothing to do with future. This is nothing to do with future.
Yeah,
inference.
like I agree. There are people who like argue future like ours who take arguments aren't exactly like Marquise. I'm not gonna like argue against Marquise when I'm arguing with them. I'm not sure like what the silly implication is here. Like, oh, this
Julian,
person did.
I'll just re-explain it. So he was trying to make some argument that I should care about organisms that don't exist that will potentially exist because they're going to have a future like ours, right, in the future. And
Right.
so he's like, so his question, he was like, Glock, do you think that people should do good things? I was like, yeah, people should do good things. He's like, okay, well, great. Flow is a good thing. You value future like ours, so you're committed to there being some obligation for people to produce these organisms. I was like, how the fuck does that follow?
And I mean, like, if you accepted that, what would be the issue? Like,
So already said this as well. Already.
I don't think there was an issue other than Glock just didn't accept it.
the argument doesn't commit you to it. You wouldn't have to accept it in the first place. And in the second place,
Yeah, those
why
two
would you even ask
premises
this
there.
question?
What bad, Julian?
Those
He's
two
repeating what I
premises
said.
The agreed premises do commit you to that, though, is the issue.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, so can you show me how that doesn't follow from the two committed premises?
No, you're not okay. You're not allowed to talk
No,
about things following from each other.
since you want
You're not allowed to talk about things following from each
Yeah,
other.
we can do it. It's okay. You can teach me so much logic and show me how that doesn't follow from those two agreed premises.
Corinth, I don't think anyone is capable of teaching you logic.
Because you can think.
I am so teachable right now. Like, please show me, teach
Because
me.
you can think it's wrong, prima facie wrong to deprive someone of a feature like ours.
Yeah, so that's not what the Glock did, right? I agree. If we have a different statement and a different series of agreed propositions going to it, that's going to be different.
What's different? What did I say that's different?
When you from the term of FLO is good versus it's prima facie morally wrong to deny someone an FLO.
I would never say something that silly. I wouldn't just go into VC saying FLO is good. I don't even know what that means. It said,
yeah, I directly asked you the question, our FLO is good. Our FLO is good. And you said yes.
I don't even know what that means. I didn't say that. I said if a fetus has a
you have to say yes.
Okay. This is being recorded, so I'm going to be nice. But I was saying that if a fetus has a future like ours, it's good reason to not kill it. I don't know how you interpret that as FLO is good. It's not exactly what I'm saying.
So the part that I interpreted as FLO is good is when I asked you, our FLO is good, and you said yes.
That never happened.
That was the part that I interpreted as...
You said you didn't ask the question.
Let's speed this up. Okay, let's say Glock's committed to it's prima facie wrong to deprive someone of an FLO. What are you deriving there? Because it doesn't entail that just because it's
so that's going to be a completely different argument. I agree. We're going to be like a completely different argument, right?
But you agree that's what the proponent of FLO is committed to, right?
I agree that like Marquis. I don't agree like every proponent's.
You don't know Marquis. You never read Marquis. Stop talking about Marquis.
I know I read one. Apparently,
don't fucking name drop.
So I'm agreeing.
Okay, so now say that those are the two premises. What's the criticism of the future like us argument?
So the main one I'm going to go with is like personhood over time that I don't know that I have like convincing account of to say like you're depriving them of this.
That's an objection. How?
Yeah, you can't be depriving something of it by depriving something else of it, right? I'm not depriving you of water by not giving Eric water. Or like the rumors true, you two are exactly the same.
Yeah, that's correct. So if you're depriving,
So if we don't have a good account of personhood over time, then we don't have a good account to say that this fetus is the same being that would have had those future like ours experiences.
But you want to have one for like pragmatic purposes, right? That's not.
Yeah, like if we're having a pragmatic conversation, that's going to be different. But then if we try and cash out into actual terms, it seems to be the case that it's insufficient, right?
You know this is an applied ethical debate, right? This is a pragmatic conversation. And secondly, we do have an account of, personhood over time.
So what's your account of personhood over time?
At least I have one.
Yeah, what is it?
The organism persists throughout time by maintaining functional unity.
What do you mean specifically by functional unity?
Okay, it's best understood in terms of certain examples. So, just take it the case that the cells in the body are constantly being destroyed and replaced. What functional unity means is for the organism to maintain its structure throughout all this chaos. And we see this through many other living organisms. That's sort of what it means for organisms to persist.
That didn't clarify your position at all. I'm sorry, what do you mean functional unity?
Okay, do you want more examples or?
Yeah, I'd like an example.
Okay, you can view it in terms of structure and stability. There's some sort of harmony taking place in living organisms, and that's how they grow, they metabolize. What functional unity means is to
What do you mean by
maintain...
harmony there?
Well, I take it that you don't believe that living systems are completely chaotic. They're sort of law-like, and they have some form of structure to them. Or if they didn't have the structure, we wouldn't have life forms all over the place. We wouldn't be able to maintain our lives for years and years on end.
Yeah, that's not helping me understand what you mean by harmony.
Look, you can be as skeptical as you want and not be able to digest what I think are rather simple concepts. But
yeah, I'm not understanding what you mean by harmony.
System.
You're saying like, oh, things like need to exist so they're not like pure chaos. Are you saying that like that's the only thing?
Look, I'm just trying to give you examples of what I mean when I say functional unity. And it's not that hard of a concept to grasp.
Can you like describe it rather than try and give me examples, because examples aren't like working here, right?
Look, you're not going to break it down much more. The best way to communicate concepts like these are examples. What people do when they're looking for persistence conditions is they look around them. They look, for example, they see a tree in front of them. What does it mean for a tree to persist throughout time? And they say, oh, look, it seems like the tree is maybe maintaining structure throughout time, and I want to take the tree's growth and structure to be its persistence conditions. We're just doing the same thing for organisms. We're looking at organisms. We're seeing that their living body, they metabolize, they grow, they maintain function throughout time, and we lay these out as persistence conditions. I mean, what's challenging for you to grasp?
Sure, so you're saying just like a seeming is the case? Like it seems to you to be the case that it persists?
I don't... Look, there's no need to put this nonsense seeming word in there.
That was
It's
what you
just
said.
empirical investigation like we all do when we want to form concepts.
You use seeming in your description.
What do you mean by seeming?
You used it, so I'm trying to guess what you mean. You had this like perception of this thing that it probably was this?
Oh yeah, all I probably referred to is it's an empirical investigation. I'm using my senses.
You're using your senses. Okay. So like if I'm using my senses and it turns out to me that I have no reason to believe in that, so like how do we resolve this dispute?
Then you just accept that you're retarded. I don't know what you want Julian to tell you.
No, that doesn't seem to follow.
Pick up a book. Why don't you pick up a book for the first time in your life? Pick up a book.
Yeah, I have. It doesn't seem to follow.
Okay.
Okay, wait. I don't think I have. I mean, what are the two questions people usually ask when they're talking about personal identity?
Usually ship a thesis is one.
They usually ask for the ship of thesis?
They ask, where is the ship? What is the ship?
No, yeah, I'm sorry, do you need me to ask you the full question, or is the name not enough? Do you not know it off the top of your head?
We know what you're talking about. That's not the main question. Personal identity is...
That's one of the main ones, absolutely. You said which two? I agree, there's like multiple.
But they're not... Okay, when someone asks you what's the main idea of personal identity, and you say ship a thesis, I think...
Yeah, so when you say what are the two main questions people ask when you're talking about personal identity, it seems to be the case that like ship a thesis is one of the two. That's not...
No.
Yeah, you might have misspoke. It's okay if you did.
Is just explaining problems that deal with...
Of Hesiody, which again, when you talked about your seeming, for you seem to be this tree seems to be the same, that's very applicable to the ship of Theseus, which is why it's there. I'm not sure if you're confused about the implication of your position.
One of the answers I was looking for is persistence conditions. And what's the other one?
Apparently, I don't even know. You're looking for two specific answers. Why don't you just tell me the other one?
The other one is numerical identity.
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
We have those two. Perfect. What about them?
Yeah, you're saying, I have definitely read into this field. I know what it's about, but it doesn't seem like you have. I mean,
it seems to be the case that I did. Like, you're talking about the concept of the specific question I used that's brought up to bring about this.
You seem to know about persistence. What are the two main theories of persistence?
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you forget the part where I was like talking beforehand, or no?
No, I just want to know if you know the two main theories of persistence.
Oh no, I don't. Why don't you just
So
inform me of them?
So then it really doesn't seem like you've looked into this field at all.
Yeah, I've looked into nothing. Why don't you keep telling me these things?
No, I'm not here to educate you.
I can very much tell
you
you're not here to educate anyone. That's like pretty evident.
Right, yeah, I know. It's like a black
Are you
man's job to
mad that
educate.
no one's like educating you for being retarded? Is that what's going on?
No, it's like this weird idea of like, oh, have you read these two things? And I perfectly described the concept in the most common phraseology of this question. And then you're gonna like try and jump down my throat how it's not accurate. I have to like slowly explain it to you, and then you're like, oh wait, he was right. So if you want me to keep running these
I don't
things-
think you're retarded for the show thesis. I think you're retarded for the other stuff you've said in the comment.
Yeah, totally. So again,
But like, look, if you don't know the two main theories of persistence,
I
doesn't
know nothing. Why don't you
Let
tell
Jordan
me?
finish.
but like doesn't it seem like you have more to read if you're not familiar with the most popular positions in this area?
Apparently I know nothing. I've never read a book. Why don't you tell me what those two positions are?
He already did.
He never did, actually.
Well, the two positions are endurantism and perdurantism. Endurantism is the thesis saying that we persist by remaining whole at each period of time. And then perdurantism is a four-dimensionalist view of persistence, which claims that we persist through having time slices of our life spread out through a space-time wormhole type of thing. Those are the two main pictures people like to paint. But they're very curious.
Yeah,
Wait, so what was his original question about personal identity? Because that I forgot.
It doesn't seem like FLO has... Yeah, it doesn't seem like FLO has a coherent idea. It doesn't seem like there's a really good idea here that's convincing. So if we're saying, like, you're denying this being its future experiences, you'd have to have an account of it being its future being.
I don't think we need to give this guy any more screen time. But
Why? No, it's funny. Come on, it's entertaining. For me.
not for him.
This guy's denying
Definitely not for him, but...
diacritic identity for everything. This guy's insane. Come on.
Yeah, I am.
It sounds like it's like having DNA with the criticism be like, oh well, how do you know that the DNA is the same DNA over time? Is that the idea?
I'm pretty sure, like, animalists all over the place are very scared of your views. I think, in fact, you should write a paper on your thoughts and try and publish it.
Well, no, that's an actual question. Like, if someone were to say, like, what makes them the same as having the same DNA, would the objection to that be like, how do you know that the DNA is the same DNA over time, or something like that?
That's gonna be like one of them, yeah. There are like
Is there any
others.
other?
I wouldn't go with that.
What would a different one be?
Like you say, like you have different arms that have the same DNA. Are your two arms the exact same?
Wait, the question is, if your two arms have different DNA, then what?
No, if your two arms have the same DNA, is your left arm the same exact as your right arm?
It's part of the same organism.
Yeah, so it seems to be the case that, like, having the same DNA doesn't service identity itself, though, right? You're then just granting the same organism, which again, I'm asking you, over time, how's this the same organism?
Well, the question was, what makes it the same organism? And sort of pictures like having to do with DNA.
Yeah, like, is
Wait, Glock, why does Korinth have moderator?
do I?
Hold on.